So hello and welcome back to the YouTube channel. Yes, another interview. We're firing them through ahead of the Cheltenham Festival in 3 weeks' time. We're joined by the usual suspects. So Harry, Lee, how are we today?
All good, Ash.
All good, Ash. All good from my end, mate.
Superb. I am a little bit tired from the drive into Nicky Henderson's to and from yesterday, but we're firing through it. And we've joined by Ben Hasty, head of Groundstaff at Cheltenham ahead of the festival. So Ben, how are we today?
Yeah, really good, thank you. It's a lovely sunny day here at Cheltenham, and we're 3 weeks to go now. The excitement's really kicking in now.
Yeah, we're recording this on Tuesday the 22nd, so we are precisely 3 weeks away. Sort of, I say about maybe sort of 20 minutes ago, it would have been the Supreme Hurdle in 3 weeks' time. So we're really racking it down now. But Ben, we'll just start off. How's conditions down at the course, and how's it been in preparations over the last few weeks?
Yeah, good. Obviously, the weekend was a little bit sort of difficult, just in terms of the speed of the winds was something that we probably haven't had here since probably the Wednesday of 2008 when we lost the Wednesday. We certainly wouldn't have raced if we'd have been racing at the weekend. But it's things like the wings of the fences and the packing and the greenery at the front that it just took a real battering. And it's still windy enough today actually. So I think the winds hopefully are gonna die down by the end of this week. But as I said, it's a lovely sunny day. The track's in great condition.
And I'm based in Cheltenham myself, a few minutes away from the course, and I know there was a lot of rain over the weekend. It was raining cats and dogs the other night. Has that affected the ground so much, or is it sort of fairly sort of expected?
Yeah, well, I mean, funnily enough, actually, we almost needed the rain. That sort of started 2 weeks ago, because before that we hadn't really had anything actually. It's been an odd sort of winter. Rainfall's been at a minimum. It hasn't really been that cold either. But at the moment, we'd be a mixture of soft and good to soft. We'd expect this sort of amount of rain at this time of year. What we will get in the next 3 weeks, we just don't know.
Have you had I know it's sort of hard to predict. Have you had a look at the long range forecast at all? Will you be preparing to water at all ahead of the festival?
There wouldn't be any expectations to at this stage. Said the forecast, some you can rely on, some you can't. I'm looking at weather forecasts every day, but I generally only sort of go 2 days in advance. I mean, they were very, very good with the wind and the storm. They got that spot on, but rainfall wise, there can be quite a variation between different forecasters.
Yeah, no, I saw your tweet the other day where the fence was put in, and there's getting a lot of reaction on Twitter. So that was great to see. I'll just hand over to Lee. Lee, yourself, if you want to pitch a few questions.
Yeah, I was just going to ask Ben. So, how many team members do you have? How many staff do you need in the lead up, and actually on the week of Cheltenham? How many staff would you use?
So on a yearly basis, so full time here, I have 12, including myself. And then for a normal race meeting, I say normal, but non-festival race meeting, we would probably go up to about 100. And that's a mixture of casual race day staff, because we can't do everything ourselves. It's basically having eyes and ears. So it's having people that can see something happening or keep an eye on something, because we can't be everywhere. It's a big site. It's the same for any race course really. For the festival, mainly because there's more runners, there's more work to do. It's 4 continuous days. So what we do for the festival is we have staff in from other race courses. So we'll have the staff from Aintree, Exeter, Warwick. And then what we do is then, because we're all jockey club, we will go up to the Grand National and help them for the Grand National meeting as well. So it works really well, and it's good for me to know that there's people out on the track where I can't always get to that know what they're doing.
Yeah. I was just going to quickly ask as well, I do see that you have the famous Yorkhill now. Is he in your stable? Are you looking after him now?
Yeah, so Yorkhill, it will be almost a year. I think we picked him up the week after the festival last year. Obviously he retired because he had a small hole in, well, actually it was quite a big hole in his tendon. And basically he's been on box rest. Well, he's out of box rest now, but he was on box rest for about 6 months or so. So over the winter, he's just been out in the field and just really enjoying life and just chilling out for a little bit. We probably won't start riding him till after the festival. Obviously, there's quite a lot of work to do. He hasn't had a saddle on him for a good year now. So so after the festival, we'll get him back and get riding him. But he's brilliant. He's such a character. He was my all-time favourite. And I just feel honoured to have him. You just can't believe
it. Quirky, though.
Pardon?
He's very quirky.
Yeah, he can be grumpy in the stable. If he doesn't want you in the stable with him, he'll let you know. He actually bit me the other day, actually.
God.
But at other times, he's an absolute gentleman, and you wouldn't believe that he was like he was on the racecourse when if he didn't want to do something, he didn't do it.
Yeah.
He's a gentle giant, basically, but he will let you know if he doesn't want you around him. But yeah, no, he's great. Love him to bits.
Have you got a favoured memory yourself of Yorkhill and his sort of time in racing?
Well, his festival wins were obviously class. Obviously he sort of lost his way a little bit and sort of he suppose became the forgotten horse a little bit. I sort of never lost faith in him, really. He always had the ability. He seemed to like it around here. Bit of a monkey, as we all know, but no, I'd say his 2 festival wins were the standout. Obviously, the Neptune was brilliant. Some performance that was.
Yeah, Ben. Just to touch on, obviously, you said Yorkhill was the favourite racehorse. You as Groundstaff, have you got a particular favourite festival that springs to mind, or even a worse festival that springs to mind?
I don't know, really. All the festivals, every year we say the same thing. We say, "Oh, that was the best festival ever." Every single year we say it, because obviously it's fresh in your memory. There's always a good story. There's always something happening. The festival never lets you down. I suppose the worst one for us was probably 2013 when we had to cover the courses for risk of frost. That was just hard work. Not even physically, but mentally, just trying to work out where frost covers can go for the new course, where they won't impact horses on the old course. So, each festival is completely different. Performance-wise, I'm going to go against Yorkhill here, but the best horse I've ever seen here since I've started in 2006 was Votor. I've put on Twitter a few times, but after each race is finished, I follow the winner back in. And Votor, after he won the Supreme, looked like he hadn't even had a race. Like he was still pulling Ruby Walsh's arms out.
Incredible.
And I just looked at him and thought, "You're something else." And then, obviously, when he won and won his other races, he was just so much talent, like unbelievable.
Yeah. I was really in the heyday of Willie Mullins when he had all those superstars come over in those years. That must have been great to experience and be part of around those years.
Yeah, I love racing. I watch racing every single day. I was watching replays yesterday. I'm a racing geek, and even to me, the build up to the festival is like it never drops off. The feeling you get before the festival, and on the Monday when Willie Mullins turns up and your Gordon Elliott's and they'll come out and have a pick of grass, it is something else because it's like the calm before the storm. They're immaculately presented. They've all got the same rugs on, and there'll be 30 or 40 of them come out. And then on a festival morning on the gallops, you can have 200 horses maybe out here, and it is something else.
Are you able to show us around, just? Yeah.
I'll just take you down. So I'm just down the back straight at the moment. I'm just in my truck. So I'll just show you a bit down the back straight, and basically I'll just show you sort of. A lot of people say to us, "Why do we save ground for the festival, and why do we save ground for other meetings?" And I'll just give you a rough idea of the reason for it.
No worries.
So as you can see, lovely sunny day. Work going on. Everything finished. So we're down the back straight on the new course. And as you can see, this is where we race in December. Raced on, but this is what we'll race on at the festival.
Fresh grass, fresh grass.
So everything that we do here is done for a reason, and it all starts from basically in October. It's all done in measurements. So in October, I have to think ahead. I'm always thinking ahead to the festival and thinking ahead to other meetings and making sure that I've got ground where I need it. We've got fresh ground, because we always try and produce fresh ground for every meeting, because that's what they're the best horses in the world. That's what we aim to achieve. And we obviously we are lucky that we've got so much ground. I mean, as you can see, you wouldn't want to be running on that all year round.
No. I think
over to the old course. The old course obviously it's had a bit longer. So the old course obviously we didn't use since November. So the old course really is almost back to normal. So it's almost completely fresh track. But if you can see, all the hurdles, well, everything's ready, set. We keep the protection on top of the fences, the green covers, just protects them from the elements really, because the birch sort of rots in the rain and the wind gets to it. So we cover them up where we can. But yeah, it's in great condition. You can probably tell, like I said earlier, it's quite windy still. So that will have an impact on ground, potentially drying it out. But like we said, we're really happy where we are at the moment. And obviously cross country as well. So the cross country, you can just see this fence commonly known as Canal Turn. So everything's set, ready. We could almost race tomorrow. What we try and achieve is that we get everything ready early. So then if there's any issues or I don't know, any dilemmas or weather, or it could be anything, we're already ready to race.
You weren't joking when you said a blustery day there, blimey. That was, I could see
it's
ends, windswept.
I can assure you Friday was windier than that.
So
Friday was, I live on site, so I'll try and show you my house in a second. So we've got as well as Yorkhill, we've got 4 other horses as well, me and my girlfriend, and we got Ruakana. So he ran at 4 festivals. He never won at Cheltenham, but he won a grade 1 at Chepstow. You can't quite see them actually, but so over there we have a paddock that we use as well. But basically I live on site as well. So I'm always sort of here if needed for anything, or it basically comes in my job. But on Friday the wind was horrendous. And I sort of looked out the window and I can see the course from a window, and everything was slowly just falling apart in front of my eyes. And I was like,
thinking, oh no.
But you can't do anything. You just had to leave it and let nature take its course. And today we're back to normal. But it was very, very destructive.
I was just going to ask Ben if you can hear us. I was going to ask you for a selection from this year's festival. What's your best fancy?
It's nothing unusual, but I would say my banker for the festival would be Allaho. Just incredible. I mean, I wouldn't quite say a Vautour, but I mean, the way he jumped and travelled and just went from the front. If he's anything like the form he's in last year, or he probably wouldn't even need to be up to that form. I mean, I can't see him being beaten. Nothing really stands out too much for me. I've got it could. I love Honeysuckle to bits.
There we go. So Ben, that was going to lead on to my question. So basically, I ask every single person we have on. I said the question is, does Honeysuckle win the champion hurdle and obviously with you saying appreciate it's got a chance. So would you,
Yeah,
yes or no?
so
Would you give
I
us
know
one?
obviously she's getting the weight allowance. I don't know why, but I've got a nagging feet. There's something in my head that thinks, I mean, the way Appreciate It won the Supreme, I mean, there was nothing in behind it that's done much since, but you know what Willie Mullins is like. Appreciate It hasn't run for so long, but that's the sort of horse that he would win with, that would come up and win. I'd love to see Honeysuckle win, if I'm being honest. But there's something telling me that Appreciate It is underestimated.
I was just going to say quickly, but I think that's just going to end with a question then. But just, I was going to say, what's your best atmosphere? Because if Honeysuckle and Rachel Blackmore do win the champion, I think the roof will come off. But what's like the best atmosphere you've had?
So yeah, last year was obviously very extraordinary, and I felt really sorry for not just Rachel, but for every jockey, because it's the Olympics for them, and the one thing that sets Cheltenham apart is obviously they walk back down in front of the crowd, and she won the champion hurdle, Rachel, and there was nobody there, and it was quite surreal. Best atmosphere I think I've ever seen here was Sprinter Sacre. Obviously when he regained the Queen Mother, I mean, nobody expected it. He's always been a crowd favourite, but like I say, I walk into the winners' enclosure behind every winner, and it literally, if there'd have been a roof on the parade ring, it would have come off, and that isn't a joke. It was like unreal.
Wow.
It just honestly, watching any of those videos just gives people goosebumps. It certainly gives me goosebumps seeing Sprinter win. So it must have been an amazing experience. Just finally from me, you mentioned Allaho there. You've mentioned Appreciate It and stuff, and you said you're a proper horse racing fanatic. If there's one maybe dark horse, sort of big priced horse that you can maybe see running well, doesn't have to win, but running well, that's in the back of your mind, what would you put forward?
I quite like the look of Imperial Alcazar in the plate. Obviously won here this season. Fergal O'Brien is no Fergal well, and he's son trainer. But I think, I mean, he wouldn't be the biggest price in the world, but I think he'll run quite well.
Yeah, no, his new setup is amazing, and he's a great trainer, honestly.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
thank you very much.
To be honest, any winners obviously important to everybody here, but for the locals as well, it's incredible when they have a festival winner.
100%. Yeah. Well, thank you very much for that, Ben. That was, an exclusive little tour around the course and how the ground is, and just sharing some of your memories as well of the course and the festival has been amazing to hear. So thank you very much for joining us today and spending time with us.
Thanks, Ben.
See you in 3 weeks' time.
See you in 3 weeks. Huge thank you to Ben there for coming on and sharing some lovely insight about how the conditions are going at Cheltenham, as well as how preparation is going ahead of the festival. We're now getting into our selection side of things. We've got loads more interviews lined up in the coming weeks in the run-up to the Cheltenham Festival. We should have a massive video coming out the week prior, sort of previewing all these different people that come on, bringing together all their different opinions and having a good bit of crack with it. So without wasting too much of your time, let's get into the selections. Looks like a decent card this weekend, and let's hope for some luck on our picks. And welcome back to our tipping YouTube video. Thank you very much for the support on last week's video and on the Twitter live we had on Sunday. We had Josh Stacey of Let's Talk Racing and Racing TV fame join us. He weighed up the mares' races, looked back at the weekend's review, and we had some great views on it. So thank you very much for the support. As per usual, we're joined by Lee and Harry. So gents, how are we?
Yeah, all good, Ash. Last week, like you say, was good. We've had some good interviews. We've got a few special guests coming up, and we've just spoke to someone live from Cheltenham there, giving us some updates. So we'll post that with the video as well. But all good.
And Harry?
All good for me, buddy. Yeah, a few unlucky seconds coming from the weekend. So I'm sure we'll quickly get to Lee's lovely little four-timer, but no, we'll move on. We'll move swiftly on before he starts blowing the house down. So
Yeah, no, Lee napped, good risk at all. I believe it's somewhere around 7-2, went off 5-1 SP. Brilliant, well done, Lee. That is, commendable. My nap, time to get up, finish third. Annoyingly, I didn't win and place it. I just went on the win nap, so didn't pick up anything. And Harry's was Fiddler on the Roof, finished second. I think if you backed all of me and Harry's to finish exactly second place, you'd be a very rich man after the weekend, I have to say. But Lee, also, you didn't just have the nap, you also had a few more winners over the weekend, didn't you?
Yeah, I had back the Galloping Bear against you. 14s, I think it went off fours. That I think price-wise that was a cut there, but 14s was a good price. Had 4 or 5 winners at the Saturday. I had a treble up on Sunday as well, so not bad for the weekend, I think.
A good weekend and a good form from all. We'll move into this weekend's action. We've got Kempton, Newcastle, and we've got Lingfield on the flat. I know, shock horror, we've got flat racing to cover. I can't believe it. But we'll start at Kempton. The first race on ITV is the 1:15. It's a 2-mile, 4.5 furlong. Coral failed to finish. 3 bets, handicap chase. Class 3, you've got the likes of Phlegmatic, currently the 5-1 favourite. Deriander Karjak, who we've seen a lot of times around Cheltenham this season, 6s. Patroclus, 6s. And my old mate Jackamar is in there at 9s. I know, Lee, you don't have a very strong fancy on this, so we'll keep it between me and Harry. Harry, we'll let you go first. And, where are you siding in this opening race on ITV?
Yeah, look, it's such a wide open race. I mean, you can make cases for quite a few of these in here. I mean, obviously you've got Phlegmatic towards the top there, and the Karjak's not far off behind him. But for me personally, I'm going to take a little each way play on Beakstown of Dan Skelton's. I think this horse has been running really well in behind, obviously, Imperial Alcazar last time out. I mean, if you go down his form lines, he's only really had one poor run, which was actually in the 11th of December behind Cool Cody. Got beat 33 lengths. But other than that, his form lines read 3-5, 3-2-2. And off 130 and an 0 to 130, I think he could be seriously competitive. And at 11 to 1, I think if Dan Skelton decided to use another conditional like he used Jack Andrews the last time, I think he could be a serious each way player. So Beakstown for me each way at 11 to 1.
Yeah, no, Beakstown was in behind Torn and Frayed at Cheltenham last time. 6 lengths behind Ern River, who, if you listen to the racing blogger, he keeps going on about and bolstered up the other day. Obviously, Jackamar in there, my mate, obviously for the tip star. And I think I've just lost faith in him, really. Not lost faith. I don't think I can do it to myself, putting him up again and seeing him finish at 5th place. I'm going to go with another one that I have a long love affair with, and it's Deriander Karjak. I think it's quite harsh. Well, no, quite lenient. Should I say, from the handicapper, dropping him £4 for his runs at Cheltenham this season. And I think he's ran very credibly in all of them. He's finished 5th twice behind Vienna Court and then behind Cool Cody by about 12 lengths. But if you look at that Cool Cody run in December, he absolutely tanked into the race coming off the bend. He jumped 2 out and he was all there. And then he absolutely clarted the second last. And he was just completely gone, and there was no coming back for him. And he finished 13 lengths off the pace. And excuse me, he was 2 lengths behind Midnight Shadow off Levels, who's improved £5 since. And then he was also a length off Paint the Dream off Levels in that same race, who's improved £15 since that run. So that's good form. He was 6 lengths behind Champ in a Grade 2 novice chase at Newbury, and only 4.5 lengths off Black Op. And his runs at Cheltenham have been very good this season. He's been dropped a total of £6. Total of £8 to a mark of 129. And considering he used to be a 146 horse, I think he's absolutely well in, and I think he's got a cracking chance. I won't put you off Harry's though. Beakstown, I'm a massive fan of Beakstown, and I will be backing him. That's the first race at Kempton covered. We'll move on to the 150. It's the Coral Adonis Juvenile Hurdle Grade 2. Night Salute currently is yours 9-4 favourite, won at Cheltenham recently earlier in the season. Pleasant Man is in there for Paul Nichols at 9-2 as the second fav. Impulsive One 5-1. Greystone and Mocha Devassi 7-1. And you can have what you like 8-1. And biggest, Lee will bring you in the Adonis Juvenile Hurdle. Where are you going?
Yeah, the 150. So it is actually a good roll of honour from past there going on to Cheltenham. I think Impulsive One is here to find out whether he's a Triumph horse or whether he's just going to go to the Boodles. I think he will be a Boodles horse, but Night Salute is the one that I'm going to back. I don't think he can get close to the likes of the Vauban, Field or Pied Pipers, but he could run into a place if one of them fluffs their lines in the Triumph. But for Saturday's race, he actually beat Impulsive One round Kempton. He got £7 that day, but he actually then come out and beat Impulsive One, giving him £5 the last day. In between them was Porticello. He come out and won the Vic Deladorum at the weekend by 17 lengths, so it's good form. Impulsive One then won easily the last day as well. So Night Salute for me in the 150 at Kempton.
Yeah, Night Salute, one at Cheltenham under Paddy Brennan. A very cool ride from Paddy Brennan. Harry, yourself, where are you siding with in the Adonis?
Well, it's gonna sound a bit boring again, lads, but I just think Night Salute takes all the beating there, and I think 9-4 is such value. He's already beat Impulsive One twice, giving weight, receiving weight. He's obviously he's come off the flat, so he likes the flat tracks, the level tracks. Kempton's right up his street, and I just think if Paddy Brennan or Mitch Bastian, Milton Harris is flying, as we all know. Obviously, Rosie Redrum, who we did tip, ran creditably at Newbury. I just think Night Salute takes all the beating. And I think at the prices, looking forward to Cheltenham, at price 16-1, you could quite easily see him running his race if he does turn up. If he wins this well, he won't be 16-1 on Saturday.
If you can get four places. You can get four places exactly. I think he's a good each way chance, because beating Porticello the last time, he hosed up the other day, so he's got good form.
Well, he's 4 out of 4 over hurdles. 4 out of 4 over hurdles. He's got course form around Cheltenham. Paddy gets an absolute tune out of him, and I just think the way he actually he travelled through his race at Doncaster was superb. And he ported, like you said, Lee, Porticello in behind. His serious form, because I mean that horse isn't exactly long odds for the Triumph, is he? So what is he now? Yeah, 14-1. So to be fair, I think that Night Salute takes all the beating it. Danger could be Greystone round that flat track. Bryony would more than likely ride. She got a good tune out of Greystone the other day round Wetherby. So no, but for me, Ash, boring. But Night Salute takes the beating round Kempton.
Look, I hear what you said, gents, and I respect the form lines, but I'm going to take a different view on this, and I'm putting up a Impulsive One at 5-1. I'm a huge fan of him. He absolutely battered some, admittedly like some yolks, but they were, their horses at the end of the day, and he battered them at the start of the season. And I think he's got loads of ability. Quickly, Lee, he's not going to the Boodles or the Triumph. I was with Nicky Henderson yesterday. He's a flat track horse, so he'll probably be saved for Aintree in April. But moving on to the weekend race, I think he's got a great chance. And the thing is, you're bringing up the form of beating Night Salute, beating Porticello and Impulsive One in that race. And yeah, I completely see it. But also, there's only a length between the horses, and you're looking at something like 2-1, 5-1 difference. And I think Impulsive One, I think, is the value in the race. And look, if you're telling me, we've obviously seen Impulsive One improve, won the Scottish Triumph very cosily, and I will say very cosily won the Scottish Triumph. Obviously, we've seen Porticello win the Grade 1 at Chepstow and absolutely bolted up the other day. And then you're thinking, out of all those 3 horses that ran in the race, you're then going to take a chance on a 2-1 shot who's not run since then. Obviously, it's an improving race, as we know, but we don't know if he's going to improve on it. We know 2 horses that have improved from it, and we just don't know if Night Salute's improved to that level. So I think you're taking a bit of a risk on 2-1 for Night Salute, to be honest. So I think Impulsive One, 5-1 is completely solid for me. And look, I backed him for the Boodles. I quickly cashed out after I spoke to Nicky Henderson yesterday. Got my stake back in total. And I think he's got an absolutely great chance at the weekend. But enough about the Adonis. I think we spent plenty of time on that race. We'll move on to the 225 at Kempton. The Coral Pendle Novices Chase Grade 2. Another graded race over the weekend. Pick Dory is your 9-4 favourite for Paul Nicholls. Harry Cobden already jocked up. Milena Drama, Brian Hughes, Donald McCain, 11-4. Fantastic Lady, 7-2. Miller's Bank, 5-1. And you can have the rest of the field, 8-1 and above. Currently 8 entered for the race. It's a small field show, and you could possibly see that cutting up to around 6 or 7. We'll go to Harry first. Harry, where do you side in the race?
I think, I mean, like you said, the race could quite easily cut up. I mean, you've got Manila Drama in there, who was highly rated at the start of the season, won at Utoxter. I was actually there when he won. He obviously clarted a few fences, but there's no doubt, and he's got a serious engine. Pick Dory, I don't know what to make of his last run at Sandown. Whether he should be 9-4, I don't really know. With a race that you could make cases for, but I'm actually going to make a serious case for Miller's Bank of Alex Hales. I do seriously like this horse. And if you go back to his entry run in April, he was only 3 1/4 lengths behind Abracadabras, who was actually I think that was his kind of his target race for the season. And then if you go novice chasing, he went to Huntingdon, ran a flat track, fast track as well. Beat Excitations by 11 lengths, and it was comfortable, lads. It was comfortable. He looked in control. And then obviously tipped up an unseated rider against Nasalam, but he was ahead at the time. He was 3 and a bit lengths ahead. So then obviously you go to La Hompress. I don't think Cheltenham is his track. Seriously, I think he prefers a flat track. And I think 5-1. I think Alex Hales could get a really good tune out of him. If Harry Bannister gets a sweet tune out of him, like he has done on his chasing debut, clear round of jump in. I think Miller's Bank goes close at 5-1. So he's my selection. Yeah,
fair enough. Good case made there. Lee, yourself, signing with Harry, or are you going somewhere else?
I'm afraid not. I'll pour a bit cold water over that, just because Miller's Bank was fading when it unseated the last time. So that was at Cheltenham behind Long Press. That winner that day had the potential favourite in this one, Pick Dory. That was well cooked at Sandown. Obviously, Nicholls still under some sort of cloud at the moment, so I'd want to see more before backing any of his runners in these type of races. Do your job. He was a long way behind Edward Stone, and he was even further behind Third Time Lucky when he was at Donny. So it brings us down to 2. Fantastic Lady, well beat first time up, but she bounced back with two good wins. But whether that form was strong, I'm unsure. So Manila Drama for me. I think he was a runaway winner. The runaway winner, Edward Stone. Obviously, that was miles in front, but he was only 7 lengths off Warlord and Third Time Lucky. Then were 2 next time out winners. Third Time Lucky beat that's Brave Shaska Venetia's. He's a good horse when he was second to Edward Stone, so it's good form. You have to think Manila Drama was actually second to May Drogo over hurdles at Aintree. He's got some good form. Donald McCain's flying, so is Brian Hughes. I see he's jocked up already, and Manila Drama for me in this one.
I cannot agree with you more. I think you've pretty much covered what I've got in my Word document about this horse. I mean, I liked him so much at Haydock. I went and backed him at 50-1 for the Turners, and this could be one of my most stupid bets in the world. It could also be very canny, very shrewd. I hate using that word, but look, I saw 50-1. I saw 50-1 with Betfred. A lot of firms went 20-1 straight after the race at Haydock, so I thought 50-1 there is value. Got on, and you look at that Haydock run, and yes, look, you can have concerns at his jumping. He obviously, he wears headgear. He's obviously a bit of a loose cannon sometimes, and maybe he doesn't jump his fences as well as some other horses. But I thought it was very telling that when he came to the last at Haydock, the second place got really close into behind, within a length even, and he managed to quicken away well to win by 9 lengths from the last of the line. And I think he showed a great turn of foot. And 11-4. I don't understand. And I said this about Fernando Sivola, so it's probably going to go win. I don't understand how Pick Dory's 9-4 bombed out 27 lengths behind La Home Press. And if you're telling me that excuse me, if you're telling me that Milena Drama wouldn't be able to get within 27 lengths of that of La Homme Press, then you're just a lying man. So I think that's an absolute great piece of form. As you said, My Drogo, solid form. He was 5 lengths behind Stormy Island. Oh no, that's wrong. He was ahead of Guard Your Dreams in that My Drogo race, who was then 5 lengths behind Stormy Island, and he's 1.5 lengths off Earn River, who Racing Blogger absolutely loves. So I think 11-4 is an absolutely great price. And when he comes into 2-1 favourite for the Turners, rivaling with Bob Ollinger, then we'll know who the real betting king is. 3 o'clock at Kempton is the next race. It's the second to last race at Kempton on ITV. It is the Sky Bet Dovecot. I had a lesson of how to say Turles on the weekends for some Irish friends on Twitter, so I can say that properly now. So if anyone wants to comment how to say that correctly, superb, carry on. Novices hurdle, grade 2, another grade 2. Shall we have one more? The very impressive Shall We Have One More for Gary Moore in the Goshen Silks, 7-4. Orcan Risk at 11-2. A Different Kind 7s, Barrichello 7s, Isio 7s. It's quite a hotly contested market in the middle prices. If you can get past the short fav, it's looking like a hot little race here, Harry. And where have you sided?
No, like you say, it does look a brilliant race on paper. It looks a brilliant grade 2 for saying the time of the year that it is. Obviously, Isio was really impressive first time out round Kempton, obviously winning by 17 odd lengths. Barrichello, he won well at Warwick, stuck it out and obviously beat Good Risk at all, which is very good form. Obviously, that horse has come out and bolted up at the weekend. Charlie Deutsch looking around that there's no tomorrow, but anyway, Barrichello. Obviously, Donald McCain's got another one, A Different Kind. Whether both of them will go is unsure to see. I'm not too sure. He's got a good half decent form in front of Green Book. But for me, guys, I'm going to take on the short price fave and I'm going to tip up Orcam Risk for Chris Gordon. Tom Cannon will most likely ride. And this horse has got some serious potential, I think. I think he was really unlucky first time out at Plumpton against Stream of Stars, beating a nose, stuck on well after the last. And I just think he was really unlucky. Went to Plumpton again, smash Mark of Gold, who's come out and won a couple of times since, I think. Went to Wincanton and absolutely bolted up in a really trappy little race with Knickerbocker Glory, Essential Jacko, a few horses in there, Magistrato of Nichols. And I just think the way he went about it, the way he quickened up was brilliant. And if you go back to his point form, just before he tipped up, he obviously, every chance when he fell, he was in behind Shollock Jack, who's now moved to Dan Skelton's. And obviously that horse is unbeaten since going to the Dan Skelton's. He's won at Leicester and Wetherby, quite impressive as well, the way he's won. And I just think that 11-2, I think, is for a horse that's on the improve. I think, Shall We Have One More? You could pick little bits about the way he went round. He needs to settle round Kempton. This flat track will suit Orcam Risk down to the ground. And I do genuinely think 11-2 is a play. So he is my nap for the weekend.
Oi. Very bold there from Harry. I'm going to quickly pitch in my selection for the race. In worry of going over 2 hours on this video, obviously we've got another big race to cover afterwards. I'm quickly going to say A Different Kind 7-1 is my selection. McCain's, as you said, in flying form. He's won 5 times this season. I think the Cheltenham run didn't go his way. A horse, I can't remember the name of it now, fell in front of him. That's when unseating Hillcrest, I think it might have been Harper's Brook, I want to say, fell in front of him. So that put him leading the race down the back straight, which I don't think was the plan from Brian Hughes. He was at the front for too long, just got caught. And I think his jumping's his biggest asset. He really pings his hurdles very nicely. And obviously the low sun doled off the home straight hurdles at Cheltenham. So it's basically a half mile sprint to get round. And, Balco Coastal and the other horse that was ahead of him, North Lodge, they just did him, caught him up as he was going around from the front. Green Book form's very good. Step back to 2 miles, it won't be an issue. A Different Kind from the McCains, 7-1 is all about me. Lee, yourself, quickly, grade 2, Sky Bet, where's it going?
Yeah, I like that horse, McCain's, but I'm going with his other one. I think maybe it's one of them will just run and have Brian Hughes on. So I don't know which one us will lose out on that one, but I think Barrichello beating Good Risk at all. he hosted up the other day at Ascot. He obviously actually is down to run at Newcastle in the first race, Barrichello, but they've got 2 runners in that, so I think he will take his chance here. He won't waste a bullet, Donald Kane, by going down south. He likes to target the north races, but Barrichello for me in that Kempton race.
Yep, we've covered the first few races at Kempton. Now we'll go on to the big one of the weekend. It's the Coral Trophy Handicap Chase, Grade 3. This is actually the race I've got for the Racing TV Tipstar on Friday. So I've taken an early look at this, and precursor, I might change my decision by the time Friday rolls around. Who knows, really? Who knows? I'm going to kick off, though, with my selection. And look, I found this a really trappy race. I was sat in a pub in Lambourne after Nicky's yesterday, just staring at my laptop in despair, really, because I couldn't find one for a while. Nothing was jumping off the page. And then I scrolled down. I'm happy to side with Zanza off a mark of 145. I think it's got some really strong pieces of form. You know, obviously the Betway Howden Gold Cup, you know, he found himself lacking for speed, I thought, over 2 miles. And he showed off his staying credentials when staying on into third. Obviously, he was 2 lengths behind Hitman and 3.5 lengths behind Eldorado Allen. We know what they are now. You know, Hitman is a 159 horse and Eldorado Allen is a 166 horse. Obviously, we've seen him step up for 3 miles in the Denman Chase, so that could potentially be a precursor. We don't know. His next runs have been over the intermediate trip. Obviously, he was a 2-length second to Cool Cody in the Racing Post Gold Cup. And again there, he was about 8th coming around the bend, and he stayed on really well. He found it, his passage was, I don't think it was an easy passage at all. He nearly jumped into Derian de Carjac 2 out, I think. And then that really holds his momentum. So to get himself back up and get 2 lengths within Cool Cody was brilliant. I think he's really been crying out for 3 miles, which is what he'll get on Saturday if he goes. I think he's got the staying credentials that you want. His pedigree suggests that 3 miles will be, you know, right up his street. The Damwater Bow was a 3-time point-to-point winner over 3 miles, as well as placing a few more times. And I think if you can ignore his pulled-up run at Cheltenham, where he made a mistake at the water and then pulled up, you know, 5 lengths behind Midnight Shadow again is red-hot form. And, you know, Hobbs is in great form, strike rate of 25% as we speak. So I'm happy to side with Zanza at about 16 to 1. I'll quickly run through the prices as well for the race. We've currently got Ansam as the 5 to 1 favourite, 5-star Getaway 7 to 1, Phoenix Way 8 to 1, Cap du Nord 9 to 1, and the Big Breakaway is also 9 to 1. Then you can have 12 to 1 the rest of the field. So yeah, Zanza's my pick. We'll go to Lee first. Lee, the Coral Handicap Chase, Coral Trophy Handicap Chase. Where are you going?
Yeah, just to say, this race has actually went up to 150 grand from 100 grand thanks to the Coral. So, I hope it does get a good field size. You know, people go on about the money, but there should be running here. So it is Ansam for me. I think he's got good form. He beat Phoenix Way. Phoenix Way then went on and beat Fanning and Destravel. He come out and ran 3rd last week to Fakia in the Grade 1 at Ascot. There was the 5th that day. He was 22 lengths 5th. He come out and won the next time. The 6th was a close second after. Even the well-beaten Regal Encore, he ran 4th behind Fiddler on the Roof and Fortescue last week. So it's not bad form. And Sam's last one. He's got an upward curve on his profile. So I think 5 to 1 is good each way value. I think he'll go off about 3s. And Sam for me in that feature race.
Recommending a 5 to 1 anti-post favs in each way selection. Very interesting there, Lee.
You know, you get your money back if it's placed. You know, I think you'll get like 3 or 4 places, and well, you definitely maybe get the 3, but the 4 places, the extra place would be good. 5 to 1, you know, you're getting your money back. It's worth taking a chance on the each way. I think it will go off 3s.
Yeah, no, it's very fair, and he only got given £6 for that last victory, which I think is quite generous actually of the handicapper. Harry, you said you might have found one at a big price here, so I'm very intrigued to hear what it is.
No, I mean there'll be quite a few people, I guess, that watch this that'll obviously remember the horse for his better times. He is a 9-year-old. I gave you a clue. He's run in this race before. He's won it in 2020. He was 3rd in it last year. And I think this is his target every year. He's moved to Richard Bandy, and it is Mr. Malarkey at 14-1. I'm going to tip the old boy up. I think he's going to go close, lads. He's the same. He's obviously moved to Richard Bandy. This will be his first run for the new trainer. He's dropped down the weights. He's off 142. He's got 11.4 on his back, and the course and distance form you can't really beat. You can't really beat that. Obviously, he beat Black Corton in 2020, 2 years ago. Obviously, third in it, only beaten 4 lengths last year at 33-1 with Harry Kimber on board. He's rode in the last twice, and if he does get the ride again, I think he could go close, or whoever rides it. Mr. Malarkey at 14-1. I can't see him being out the top 4. This is his target race for the year. So Mr. Malarkey at 14-1 each way is my pick.
Yeah, of course, he beat Black Corton, as you said, and he was third behind Clondor Castle last year in the same renewal. Yeah, interesting. I think I just dismissed him because I thought possibly he's on a bit of a downward curve, but maybe it's absolutely tactical genius from Richard Bandy to get him back off a nice low mark for the race. We never know. 14-1. So that was 14-1, Mr. Malarkey for Harry. Lee's gone with 5-1 and Sam. And I'm in the 16-1 camp of Zanza. We'll quickly go on to the flat stuff. Lingfield. God, I really need to get my flat brain on. I'm not in the flat brain at the moment. I don't know anything about the overall ratings. I couldn't tell you anything. The 130 at Lingfield, I'm leaving this completely. And it's a 5 furlong Betway Heather Sprint Stakes listed Class 1. We've got Lord Ridderford 11-4 top in the market. Exalted Angel 3-1, Tone the Barone at 4-1, and Mon Damage is in there at 5s, as well as the rest of the field at 10s. Lee, have you managed to have a little scan at this race?
Look, I'm just going to go straight on to the Winter Derby. Scrap the rest. I'm not keen on these all-weather races anyway, but Lord North is in that race. I think he's 15-8 at the minute. He's a Group 1 winner. He's better than them. Lord North for the Winter Derby.
He's already jumped forward to the Winter Derby, so we'll come back to that. But Harry, anything for the 130 at Lingfield?
I mean, to be fair, it looks like an half decent little race for saying it's the start, end of February. It's got a half decent little prize towards it. So whoever wins is going to take up a nice little pot. Obviously, Mondam Edge is in there. What a superb horse he is for the Anthony Britton team. Obviously, racked up all those a couple of wins at Wolverhampton. I love the horse to bits. I don't really have a strong fancy in it. Obviously, being the end of February, you never know what it's going to be like. But if I was going to pick anyone, I'd go for Tone the Barone for the Stuart Williams team. Marco Gianni's been on fire this year, and I think if Marco gets a good swing out of him, then fingers crossed, Tone the Barone will go close. So at 4-1, it's Tone the Barone.
Yeah, obviously it has Mon Damage in there. If you're going to force my hand, I'd go for him, but I'm definitely not going to put him up. I wouldn't put him up with your money, Lee, let alone mine. So quickly then, the 205 Betway Winter Derby Stakes Group 3. You've already said Lord North there at 5-4. I'm very intrigued to see how you're not just the alarm bells aren't going off at Alenquer at 3-1. I'm very intrigued. So please, Lord North, what's your reasoning?
He's just a Group 1 winner, so I don't know. I just feel like he's better than them. I think 15-8 is a good price, to be honest. I think he just wins. What's your thoughts on that, Alenquer?
I just look, Group 1 winner, obviously, and for Lord North, and what was he? 2 lengths behind Tanawa over in Keeneland. So obviously, it's great for him. I'm not denying that at all for 1 minute. But Alenquer, you just have to look at his form. He was 6 lengths. He was 6 lengths when finishing 9th behind Torquato Tasso in the Arc. That had the likes of Adiyar, Tanawa himself, Love. I want to say, God, I'm thinking all these flat racing now, but that's just great form. 6 lengths behind Mischief at York. He was then 7 lengths behind Hurricane Lane. Wordsworth. He beat the Mediterranean, and then he beat back in April. He beat Adiyar and Yabir. And Adiyar obviously is a superb horse. Went and won the Derby. Yabir obviously went on one. He got the Godolphin. No, he got the Horse of the Year, didn't he? I want to say, if I remember correctly. Obviously, he won over in America for the Breeders' Cup Turf. So I just think 3-1 for Alenquer is an absolute crime. I think he should be odds on.
But John Gosden does actually target this race. He's won it a couple of times, and I think Lord North could have went for a big pot. I mean, I don't know the prize money on this one, but he could have been at these Maidan meetings and stuff like that for starting out. But he's chose to come here in the Group 3. John Gosden likes the race. I think he wins.
Fair enough. Look, fair enough. It looks like a very hot contest. We'll quickly come to you, Harry, for the Winter Derby Stakes. Are you siding with either of our selections?
I'm going to take a chance on Fancy Man, lads, to be fair. I think Richard Hammond, obviously, he won the Winter Derby trial. Quite impressively, I thought, as well, to be fair. Sean Levy will more than likely be jocked up again. Won by 2 lengths. And I think the way he went clear was quite impressive. And obviously, that was a listed race. He needs to step up. Lord North, if he takes to Lingfield, he takes the beating, doesn't he, really? But, I mean, if you look at Best Odds Dow, he has shortened in from 15 to 8 into 5 to 4. So I think, for me, I'm going to take a little chance on Fancy Man. I think if he could go, he might be able to go close. And you probably get a quarter of the odds if you went each way, because probably the race will cut up a little bit. But for me, I'm going to tip up Fancy Man at 4 to 1.
Yeah, we've all gone different selections in the Winter Derby, so that means something's going to win it at about 20 to 1. Final race on ITV, the 3:15 at Newcastle, the Vertem Ida handicap chase. Ada, thank you very much.
This is where the Geordie accent comes in play.
Where the resident Northern expert comes to help, comes to my aid. It's a 4-mile 1 furlong race. Absolutely, stayers need apply. Don't want these 2-mile chases in there. Danilo Dairy is 7 to 1 fav. Eclair Serve, who he won, won the classic chase at Warwick, also in there at 7 to 1. History of Fashion 8s. Domaine de Lille is in there at 10s for Sean Curran, and Check It Out is also there for 12s. We'll come to you, Lee. Newcastle, your own hometown. Where are you siding?
Yeah, I actually just live. Newcastle track's about 1 minute that way from me, so I could basically trip into the doorway. It's been raining quite a lot, yeah, so the ground will be soft. It's always a slog round there, 4-mile 1 in the Ida chase. And Claire Safe, yeah, he's favourite for the race. He won that Warwick Classic. That's always a slog as well. He's up £10 now, so but he's only an 8-year-old. I think if he had 10 more pounds on his back, he still would have won that race. He won it easily and went away from him, so he's got a good chance to follow up. One for an outsider, that Yorkhill, Venetia Williams. He was down to run in the Haydock Trail last week. He's choosing to come here. And he'll relish the trip. But the one I've come down on is the top weight, Domaine de Lille. I think he'll relish it as well. He was come from France. The trainer put him in straight away in a 3-mile race. He's been staying on past horses like Kimberley Candy and stuff in the Beecher, I think it was. I'm hoping they'll claim off him. He's a good each way price, top weight round there. Over that trip is going to be take some getting, but if they claim off him, he'll have a better chance. But each way for me, Domaine de Lille in the Ida chase.
It's fairly good. I did look at him quite extensively. I've gone with Samuel Jackson though at 14 to 1. Taking a swing on him. He's a proper stayer. He won a 3-mile 6 handicap chase at Exeter, beating Tea Time on Mars. He's got form over, he's 6 lengths behind the Galloping Bear at Lingfield, which he saw when and won the Grand National Trial the other day. He beat Rolling Dillon by a head over 3-mile 4. He's got great form. He's a proper stayer, and you need a proper stayer over this 4-mile trip. So I'm happy to side with Samuel Jackson for the Richard Mitford Slade team. Harry, quickly, the Newcastle race, where are you siding?
Yeah, obviously you've got Domaine de Lille in there off 11-12. Like Lee said, when I went to the 5th, it was horrific ground anyway. It's going to take some getting going around 11-12 around Newcastle, and it won't be the warmest either. So those jockeys will be a little bit cold up there. But no, for me, I'm going to take a chance on Classic Ben at 12 to 1. He's off a featherweight of 10-4, 1-2-2. He was actually running really well when he fell. He led just before 4 out, went 3 out. Sorry, when he fell. But no, I think of 10-4, 1-2-2, He's run well over these long distance trips. Obviously, it's Sandown over 3.5, beaten only finished fourth in that, and then beaten only into third by Lord de Mesnil at Haydock over 3.5. So I think this will be right up his street. And I think off a low little weight, Classic Ben at 12-1 could prove an half decent little price. So Stuart Edmonds in fine form. I'm hoping he goes close.
Superb. That is all the ITV races covered. Do we have any other races, gents?
For me, I'll post a couple from Newcastle. I'm actually going to the meeting on Saturday, so I'll post a few from Newcastle from there, but nothing elsewhere.
You'll post them on Twitter, yep.
Yeah.
Superb. Quickly get your naps, then. We've got 1 minute. Let's try to get this in. My nap, win and place. So we'll do a £10 level stake. We'll go 5 win, 5 place on Zanza in the Coral Trophy. Lee?
I'll keep it simple. I'll go Night Salute. That's in the Donish, the 150 at Kempton.
Superb. And Harry?
Yeah, mine is Orcon Risk at 11-2 in the Dovecote Novices Hurdle at 11-2 win, £10 win.
Superb. We'll get our naps table up now. We'll get our festival naps table up after that. But that's all from us. Hope you really enjoyed the interview beforehand. And hope you enjoyed these tips. Fingers crossed you can have some luck. Thank you very much for watching. From me, Lee and Harry. We'll catch you on the Sunday live at 8 p.m. on Twitter.